Welcome back to my channel Kishore Sir Ki Pathshala. We are doing chapter Chemical Reaction and Equation 10 Cbse Science. Let's see today's part. So what is a chemical equation? Description of chemical reaction in a sentence form is quite long. As we all know, if we put it in a sentence, it will be longer as such. It can be written in a shorter form. The simplest way is to write it in the form of a word equation, right? For example, if I want to write down magnesium reacts with oxygen, it will give me magnesium oxide. So if I write that in a word form, what it will be? It will be just like magnesium, right, plus oxygen. See here, it will be magnesium plus oxygen will give me magnesium oxide, right? Okay, so what I have done, I have written my reactants on the left hand side and the product on the right hand side. Okay, and the substance that undergoes a chemical change in the reaction, that is the magnesium and oxygen. What I have done, I have written on the where on the left hand side. Okay, right. The new substance, that is the magnesium oxide, formed during the reaction as the product. Okay, so what I see is that the reactants I write down on the left hand side and the products I write down on the right hand side. Now when you see is that there are more than one reactant, so what I need to do, I need to add a sign which is a plus sign. I have added a plus sign. Okay, so if there is more than one product, right, so what I do here also, I will write down a plus sign if it is more than one. Okay, so that we need to remember. The arrowhead is there which point towards the product. The arrowhead is there which will points toward the product and shows the direction of the reaction. So that I need to remember. Okay, first of all is that reactants are always written on the left hand side, products are written on the right hand side. If there is more than one reactant, plus sign is added. More than one product, plus sign is added. Okay, now writing a chemical reaction. A chemical equation can be made more concise and useful if we use a chemical formula instead of words, right? Instead of words, if I use a chemical formula, that will be more easier for me. Okay, so what I do, I write the chemical formula. Let us take an example of magnesium reacts with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. The word equation can be written as magnesium plus oxygen gives me magnesium oxide. So this is the equation what I have written. Now if you see, the number of atoms of each element must be the same on both the side, that is the left hand side and the right hand side, right? If that is the case, then the equation is balanced. Okay, if not, then the equation is unbalanced because the mass is not the same on both the sides of the equation, right? Such a chemical equation is a skeletal chemical equation for a reaction. For example, if you see this reaction which we have written, magnesium plus oxygen gives me magnesium oxide. So this is the skeletal equation, okay, for the burning of magnesium in air. Why? See here, magnesium 1 mg is there, 1 mg is there. Here 2 oxygen atoms are there, here only 1 is. So you will see that it is an unbalanced one. Now balancing a chemical equation involves what? The total mass of the element present in the product of a chemical reaction has to be equal to the total mass of the element present in the reactant. So the reactant and the product, the masses should be same. In other words, the number of atoms of each element remains the same before and after of a chemical reaction. So we need to balance a skeletal chemical equation before proceeding. So let's take one simple example. Okay, let's take zinc reacts with sulfuric acid to give zinc sulfate and hydrogen. Now this word equation can be represented like this. Zinc Zn plus H2SO4 gives me ZnSO4 plus H2. Now let us examine the number of atoms of different elements on both the sides of the arrow. This is the reactant side and this is the product side. This is my LHS and this is my RHS. Okay. Now let us see. So first of all, what I need to write down? I need to write down the elements. That is Zn is there, then hydrogen, sulfur and oxygen that I have written. So number of atoms of zinc on both the side is 1. Number of hydrogen you see 2 here and 2 here. So 2 I have written here. Sulfur, 1 sulfur here and 1 sulfur on the right hand side. Oxygen 4 on both the sides. So what I see here is that the number of atoms for each element on the left hand side and the right hand side remains the same. So we can say that the given equation is already balanced. Now let us see few more examples. Now let us take another example of balancing a given chemical equation. Okay, let us take example of magnesium reacts with oxygen to give magnesium oxide. Right. Now let us write down the individual elements. So on the left hand side we have got magnesium and right hand side also magnesium. So on the both the side you will see that the elements will be common, right? So magnesium is there and oxygen is there. Okay, so only two elements are present on the left hand side and right hand side. Now let us see the number of atoms. Magnesium on left hand side is 1, right hand side is also 1, right? Oxygen left hand side it is 2, right hand side it is 1. Okay, so what I see here, left hand side oxygen is 2 and right hand side it is 1. So what I need to do, I need to put here 2. Okay, so I will put here 2, right? And now what you see is that oxygen is balanced. The moment oxygen get balanced, the magnesium, okay, now this 2 it applies for both. See here, this applies for both. So now magnesium also becomes 2. So here you see the value of magnesium becomes 2. So what I need to do, on left hand side I need to multiply by 2 so that magnesium is also balanced. See here, now the given chemical equation is 2Mg plus O2 gives me 2MgO. Now we have balanced the given chemical equation. Now let us take another example where sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid to give sodium sulfate and water. Let us write down the elements present. So I have got sodium here, then I have got oxygen, right? Then I have got hydrogen and I have got sulfur. Okay, see here, all the elements I have written. Let us now write down the number of atoms. Okay, so on LHS sodium is how much? Is here you will see it is 1. Left hand side it is 2. Right hand side it is 2. Oxygen is how much? See here, 4 plus 1 5. So 5 oxygen is there, right? Here it is how much? See here, 4 and 1 5. So 5 oxygen are there, right? Okay, number of hydrogens, here it is 2 plus 1 3. So 3 hydrogens, here it is 2 hydrogens. Okay, so number of sulfur is 1 here and it's 1 here. Okay, so now what you see is that sodium is how much? It is 1. So I will multiply this by 2. So now when I write here 2, okay, right, see here, I have written here 2. So now sodium is balanced, yes, but this 2 applies for all individual atoms. So now oxygen has become how much? 2 plus this 4. It has become now 6. Right. Okay. Now hydrogen has become how much here? See here. 2 plus 2. It has become 4. Right. It has become 4. Okay. Now what we can do, and sulfur is same because we have not done anything here. Right. So now if I see here, what I will do here, it is hydrogen, it is 4. So I will multiply on this side by 2. So I will write here 2, and the moment I write here 2, when the hydrogen is balanced, now what has become with oxygen? Right, see, 2 oxygen plus this 4. Now this has also become 6. Right, okay. So now you can see that here sodium on LHS and RHS is 2, oxygen it is 6, 6, hydrogen it is 4, 4, sulfur it is 1, 1. The equation now is a balanced chemical equation. Let us take another example where hydrogen reacts with chlorine to give hydrogen chloride. Let us write down the elements. Elements are hydrogen and chlorine. Okay. On left hand side number of hydrogen is 2. On right hand side number of hydrogen is 1. On left hand side the number of chlorine is 2. On right hand side the number of chlorine is 1. Okay. So what I see here is that if I multiply on right hand side by 2, okay, then what will happen? The number of hydrogen is balanced. So I put here 2. So number of hydrogen balance, but at the same time this 2 applies for both. So chlorine also becomes 2. Right. Now we have balanced the given chemical equation. Let us take another example of a reaction between iron oxide, that is my Fe2O3, plus aluminium gives me iron plus aluminium oxide. Right. So now what we need to write down? We need to write down the elements. So iron is there, then I have got oxygen, right, and I have got aluminium. Okay. So left hand side, how many ions are there? You will see 2. Right. Right hand side, I have got 1. Oxygen is how much? Oxygen is 3. On left hand side, right hand side it is also 3. See number of aluminium, it is 1, and here it is 2. Okay, see 1 and 2. So we have written this. Now let us check with iron. So left hand side it is 2, right hand side it is 1. So I need to multiply this by 2. Right. So I have written here 2. Now iron is balanced. Yes, iron is balanced. Oxygen 3, 3 already balanced. Yes. See aluminium. Right. Aluminium is 2 on right hand side. Here it is 1. So I need to multiply this by 2. And I will write here 2. Now you will see that the given chemical equation, see here. Okay. Iron 2, iron 2. Oxygen 3, oxygen 3. Aluminium 2, aluminium 3. So given chemical equation is a balanced equation. So students, this is very easy way to balance the given chemical equation. Let us take another example of magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid to give magnesium chloride and hydrogen. Let us write down the elements. So elements are magnesium, hydrogen and chlorine. So number of atoms of magnesium on left hand side is 1, right hand side is also 1. Hydrogen is 1, okay, on left hand side, right hand side it is 2. Okay, chlorine is 1 on left hand side, right hand side it is 2. So magnesium is balanced. Let us come to hydrogen. It is 1, so I will multiply this by 2. So I will put here 2. Right. Now this 2 applies for both. Now okay. So what has happened? So chlorine also becomes 2. Here you will see that the given chemical equation now is balanced. So let us rewrite the equation. So that is my HCl gives me magnesium chloride plus hydrogen. See here, one magnesium, 2 hydrogen, 2 hydrogen, 2 chlorine and 2 chlorine. So the given chemical equation is now balanced.